Commanders, we've had some incredible looking ships over the years, especially recently, from iconic heavy lifters, multi-role giants like the Panther, but Elite Dangerous has never been short on impressive vessels. Here is the Caspian Explorer, with more information released on the monthly Frontier news podcast sort of thing that we get on YouTube. This is something new, something built from the ground up to take us further than ever before. The Caspian Explorer, that's right, Zorgon Peterson's newest long-range masterpiece, if you can call it that, is very much Voyager, very Star Trek, that's what I think. Either way, let's have a look through it. The Caspian Explorer is that ship for commanders who don't just want to visit systems, they want to discover them. Following in the footsteps of the Mandy, the good old Mandalay that we had at the end of last year, this large class vessel is engineered for one purpose. And I think pushing the boundary of where us Elite Dangerous commanders can go. They want us to get out there for a reason. It's sleek. It's certainly powerful from the specs we'll go through in a minute, and it's packed with all different technology, new technology, and we'll come on to that. Its cockpit is all about panoramic views that make scenery, not just scenery, but a vista. And I think when you're gliding across icy ridges or slipping into the atmosphere, volcanic plains, that Caspian Explorer is going to feel smooth, stable, and I reckon it's going to be refined. If it isn't, then they've got something wrong, and they'll probably change it. Either way, this is not just going to be another Explorer like what we saw with the Mandalay. This seems to be an Explorer flagship. The Caspian Explorer is going to have bigger internals, stronger hull, more firepower, and a cockpit that is practically cinematic. That's what they're saying. And an expanded set of tools for commanders who love to get out there and do a bit of long range. Now, is this tuned specifically for distant worlds? That's going to be happening in the new year? More than likely. Either way, the Caspian Explorer does come with new Mark II modules, and let's see what they're all about. First up is the new Mark II module, the armor system. This is more than just hull plating. Apparently it fundamentally changes how you approach planets. With this armor on board, you can glide steeper and faster, making orbital approaches nearly seamless. Less drift, more control, smoother landings on those difficult worlds. Either way, it's an armor upgrade. I dare say you'll be able to engineer this as well at some stage, who knows. Next up are optimized Mark II thrusters. These thrusters are tuned specifically for near-planet flight. Gravity bleeds, less speed, precision increases, and atmospheric maneuvers will feel tighter. If you ever fought the descent on a high G world, apparently this upgrade will be a lifesaver in the Caspian Explorer. The third module that's worthy of comment is the new FSD on the Caspian Explorer. The FSD Supercharge Mark II. Calling this an upgrade would seem to probably undersell it, as it pushes the size 8 FSD to new heights when you supercharge off a neutron star. Jump further, baby. That's what it's all about. Neutron stars or white dwarfs. Not just boosting range, but extending endurance on long expeditions. So that Caspian Explorer can jump further, faster, and more efficiently than anything in its class. Looks like the old Explorer Condors are going to be stuck on the scrap heap. So these three modules alone give that ship the unique identity of a next generation Explorer. So we've just briefly touched on the modules, so let's talk about what's going on the internals. So they say that you're going to have all the room for stuff that Explorers are going to need without compromising jump range. That's what they say, without crippling it. You're not going to be forced to choose between capability and distance. With a large ship and that footprint, this ship should give you both. It's meant to be nimble for its size as well, not like a lumbering barge is the Panther Clipper. So, Zorgon Peterson seemed to have engineered this with a bit of a purpose. They're also saying that it can be multi-role, mining, trading, and a flexible ship. Now, even though that Caspian Explorer was designed for discovery, doesn't mean it's a one-trick ship, and I like that about it. I really do. It has to be flexible. Give it the ability to go into long-range trading, mission running, perhaps a bit of AFK. Get it in a combat zone. Why not? It looks like you could have a really good Star Trek-esque experience when you get into those Haz-Res sites. Apparently it won't beat dedicated haulers or industrial rigs like we're used to, like the Panther, but if you want a ship that can explore for weeks, drop into a mining hotspot, haul cargo back to the bubble, and keep going, they're saying this ship is built for that. So versatility here apparently is key. So, modules then. Let's start with the hardpoints. Currently, we have been told the Caspian Explorer is going to have 6 medium hardpoints and 1 large, which means it's going to be able to handle itself far better than most other exploration ships. Even ones that you take an old battleship in there as well. Now, will it be an AX monster? I don't know. Probably. Will it be built for self-defense, pirate deterrence, or some of those unexpected encounters you get when you're out there? I think with that amount of hardpoints, 6 medium, 1 large, you're going to be covered. I think, it's a step up from the average lightly hauled Explorer that we've had to manage in the past. Because here's the thing with being lightly armed. If it's lightly armed, then you've compromised. And this is saying it's not about compromise. So anyway, let's go through it. 1 large hardpoint, 6 medium hardpoints. What about the core internals though? So core internals then, let's break it down. So size 8 power plant, you'd expect nothing less. Size 7 thrusters for getting about. Size 8 frameshift drive, and that's one of the key modules. That's one of the new modules with the neutron star jumping and white dwarf star jumping. Jump further, baby. Size 5 life support. Size 7 power distributor, so you're not going to run out of juice. And then size 8 sensors for all that scanning. And a size 7 fuel tank. You may want a few more of those, depending on where you're going. So either way, you're going to have to fit a fuel scoop to this thing, and I'm surprised they didn't take the opportunity on the optional internals to bang a fuel scoop in there when that's been engineered. It's an exploring ship. Do you know what I mean? What a cool module that would have been. Either way, let's talk about optional internals. In all, there are 14 slots for optional internals. So, what are we getting? 3 size 1. Okay. 1 size 2, 1 size 3, 2 size 4, 4 size 5, 2 size 6, and that size 7. Which, let's face it, you could probably bung in a multi-Olympic controller there. In the size 6, bang in the largest fuel scoop you can get. Frameshift drive booster in the size 5, and you've still got space. Size 4, yeah, SRV perhaps? You know what I'm saying? No mention of whether it comes with a fighter hanger. But, you can have some good configuration builds around trading, science setups, or even mining. But I think it's going to be deep space endurance. But with all those hard points as well, I reckon it's going to be pretty good for AFK. Either way, the release date, what they're saying, and it's all subject to change, for the ARX is going to be the 2nd of December. So what's the Caspian Explorer mean for us? It's an exploring statement, a flagship of exploration, a next generation, see what I did there, of deep space vessels. Either way, I think it's going to be great. Can't wait to get my hands on this one. The rest of the ships we've had this year have been a bit lackluster. I'm really interested in it. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments, Commander. I've been Ricardo. This has been a deeper dive into the Caspian Explorer prior to release. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.